What's up, guys? Land with Uncle G. Today we're back with part 2 of 5 red and green flags when you're going to buy a horse. Let's get into it. Alright, the first red flag is when you go to look at a horse and you get there and the horse is lame for any reason. It could have pulled a muscle, maybe has an abscess, stepped on a rock on the way in. Anything could have caused it to be lame. But I'm the type of person, if I go there and the horse is lame, there's a 99% chance I'm not going to buy it. Even if it's a fluke deal and the horse was sound right before you got there, it's too much of a risk. And soundness issues can be extremely difficult to diagnose, can be expensive. Sometimes you never get them fixed. So if the horse is lame, we're not buying it. Green flag would be when you get there and the horse is sound as a dollar. Doesn't take a lame step at the walk, trot, or the lope. Especially trotting on a loose rein, that's the best way to tell if a horse is off, because you can't hide it at the trot, especially when you give them their head. So if the horse is sound when you get there, that's a green flag. Red flag number 2 is when the owner doesn't want you to do a pre-purchase exam, or a PPE as a lot of people call it. That's something the veterinarian will do for around $300 to $600, depending on how in-depth you want to get. Allows you to see some simple x-rays, some blood work, do a soundness test, stuff like that. If the owner is hesitant about it, that's a big red flag. Now, the cost will be on you as the purchaser to pay for that PPE, but if the owner doesn't want you to do it, that's a big red flag. I'd turn and walk away. A green flag would be when you get there and the owner has no problem with you ordering a PPE. It's good for the owner to have and for them to know in case there is any issues. It also is good that they're open about it and they're not trying to hide anything. Once you have a PPE done, then those problems and that history is on file somewhere. So that's why some people might not want them done. But if the owner lets you do it, that's a great sign. The third green flag is when you get there and the owner refuses to ride the horse for you. I go to look at a horse, I want the owner to demonstrate it for me, to show me what the horse can do and kind of how they cue it, and then I'll get on after and ride. Sometimes the owner might have a health reason, or someone's selling the horse for somebody else and they don't know the horse. Those things do happen, especially if they own the horse and they're the ones that supposedly ride it all the time, but when you get there they refuse to ride it. Big red flag. I'll still probably go ahead and ride the horse, but take that into consideration. Maybe the horse is dangerous, maybe they're trying to hide something, or maybe they don't want to ride it for a reason, so keep that in mind. A green flag would be when you get there, the owner hops on the horse, does everything you ask it to, and then you get on after with no problems. That's a great sign. Next red flag is when you get there and the horse looks nothing like the pictures and the videos that you got sent. That means the videos are old or from the previous owner. And this owner might not have ridden the horse, doesn't know much about it. Could mean a lot of things. But if you get there and the horse looks a lot different, that's a big red flag. I'd definitely be wary about buying the horse. One time we drove to Arkansas, it was about 8 or 9 hours. We get there and the horse is missing half the tail, a big chunk of the mane, and down about 200 pounds. Completely different from the videos and the pictures that we saw. And we drove a good ways to get there. We didn't even end up riding it because it was such a different horse. So take that into consideration. That's why it's always good to make sure your videos and pictures are up to date. And if you can, sometimes if you really are concerned about it, I'll even ask them to FaceTime me just to check the horse out, do a quick 360, just to make sure before a long drive, I know what I'm getting into. The obvious green flag would be when you get there, the horse looks just like what you're expecting, rides just how you're expecting. So that tells you the pictures and videos are probably pretty recent and you got a pretty nice horse. And that's a good sign they're not trying to mislead you. The last red flag is when there's an issue with the registration paperwork. It can be a wide variety of things. Sometimes the horse never did get registered and they'll tell you, oh, you can register it, he's able to be registered. But that's a mess in and of itself, and sometimes that ends up not being the case. Sometimes they'll tell you, well, he's registered, I just lost the paperwork. Or they'll tell you, we never registered him, but the previous owner said he was. So all those things can be huge complications if you buy the horse and try to register it for yourself. So definitely be aware of that. If the horse is not registered, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Great horses can make some really good horses. However, it definitely affects the cost of the horse, and it also affects the resale value and the breeding opportunity and things like that. If the owners don't have current registration that's filled out for you to be able to fill out and pass on to you, that's a big red flag. And if you don't want to deal with the headache and the hassle, the possibility of not even getting the horse registered, I might turn the other way and find a different horse. An obvious green flag would be when you get there, they have all the paperwork, it's all made out to that current owner, and then it's all filled out to be signed and transferred to you. So something big to look for, but that's a good sign when you go to buy a horse. Alright guys, thanks for watching part 2 of our red flag video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to our channel, and comment down below if there's anything else you guys look for, or if there's anything you guys want to see about our farm and our day-to-day life. For all our daily content, make sure you check out all our social media. Lots of good stuff on there. We also have a Facebook group. If you guys join that, has a ton of training tips and stuff like that in there. So make sure you check that out. Thanks for watching.